Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we're doing another Bath & Body Works Fall 2 spoilers video. This video is going to be focused on the Scent Lab collection, as well as some rumored new and returning fragrances for the Aromatherapy line. That said, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We do all things body care on my channel, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's dive right on into the video. Alright, you guys, I'm going to sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. Regarding the spoiler information for this video, it was sourced off lifeinsidethepage.blogspot.com. I absolutely love Tess's Bath & Body Works themed blog, and if you really enjoyed these spoiler videos, I highly recommend you check it out. As always, in the description box down below, I will have a direct link to the post that I was looking at for this video. Now, one more thing before we dive into the fragrances. As I said in the intro and the title of this video, this is a spoilers style video, so these are still very much spoilers and rumors. What actually comes out could be different than what is in this list, so this is really just for your guys' awareness as to what could be coming out so that you're able to maybe budget a little bit better or kind of plan your holiday season or your coupons. That said, let's go ahead and get started with the Scent Lab spoilers. Now, for the Scent Lab spoilers, it does look like we have a rumored 5 fragrances that would be joining the current lineup. One we actually have seen before, the other 4 would be completely new. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the Scent Lab collection is, the Scent Lab collection, it originally started as a group, I want to say maybe 13 or 14 fragrances, and they were the travel size fine fragrance mist, really just focused on one fragrance, whether that be jasmine, whether it be vanilla, whether it be pistachio, whether it be amber. And then the entire idea was that you could buy maybe 1 or 2 or buy a couple and really use them as the singular scents to create your own scent by mixing and matching. So that's really the context for the Scent Lab collection. Since its original launch, we have seen a couple of them get discontinued. I think there's maybe about 9 or 10 currently available right now, and they do look to be available now in both the travel size fine fragrance mist and the mini body butter. Not exactly sure what these rumored ones would be available in, if it's just the fine fragrance mist, if it's the fine fragrance mist in body butter. All of that information would be to come. However, getting into the actual fragrances, we'll go ahead and start with the one that's returning, and that is going to be Amber Suede. Now, Amber Suede has notes of warm amber, vanilla flower, and sparkling bergamot, and I think this one could be a good one to pick up, especially if you have maybe a lot of lighter fragrances that you want to transition them more into fall or winter appropriate. I really like the Scent Lab collection, especially if you have a free travel size body care item up to $9.95 and you're really not thrilled with anything in the signature line or the seasonal line. I feel like that's where the Scent Lab collection can really shine. And as these are more of those singular fragrances, they're not just a combination of a bunch of different notes. I feel like these are pretty good for layering with a bunch of things you already own, making them a little bit more usable than buying like an entire fragrance scent and really wanting to just wear that on its own. So Amber Suede, I think this one is good. There are other ones that I like better, but if you like things like sensual amber or chocolate amber, this is definitely one to have on your radar. The next 4 are going to be completely new, and the first one we have is going to be Manuka Honey. Now, I really enjoyed the Bath & Body Works Coco Shea honey fragrance. Honestly, the best honey in my opinion, and I've smelled things like the Lush's Honey I Wash the Kids or the Suave, I believe it's the Milk and Honey in the body wash. Those were just okay. However, there was something in that Bath & Body Works Coco Shea honey line that I just felt like that one smelled phenomenal. So I'm curious to see if this rumored Manuka honey would just share that exact same scent, or this is going to be something that's a little bit different. The next rumored fragrance we have would be matcha milk, and I think I'm just really confused with the entire idea of matcha and what the intended smell is. And I say that because earlier this fall or earlier this summer, Bath & Body Works launched for their first round of fall full-size fragrances the pink matcha latte fragrance, and to me that one is just so light in the lasting power, it just does not last on me at all. So I really don't know what that's supposed to smell like. So I'm curious if this matcha milk, and I understand matcha is more of like this grassy, outdoorsy vibe, if it's supposed to be kind of grassy and outdoorsy, but it's saying matcha milk, so I don't know if it's supposed to be latonic. I think I'm just very confused with matcha as a fragrance, and the pink matcha latte did not really clear up any of that confusion. So I'm very interested to see what this one ultimately ends up smelling like. The next one we have is going to be soft oud, and I'm honestly not surprised to see an oud fragrance coming out, simply because Bath & Body Works had that majority online exclusive oud collection where I think it was oud suede, oud berry, and oud vanilla, something like that. I was honestly really surprised that one never made its way into stores. I don't know if the point of this soft oud is to kind of sort of soft launch it in stores, and then maybe some of those online exclusives would eventually be coming to the stores. Curious as to why that would be the case, but interested in this one. Oud is kind of like a smoky, leathery kind of fragrance. I think it's, again, similar to an amber, very beautiful for the fall and winter months. So I'm super excited to have something in the Scent Lab lineup, as the Scent Lab lineup is majority like fruity fragrances, some florals, and then kind of like your lighter vanillas and pistachios. Excited to see something a little bit deeper. The next one and the last one we have is going to be Juicy Fig. Now, Bath & Body Works has had some fig fragrances over the years. Probably the most notable of the signature line would be the Brown Sugar and Fig fragrance, which I don't think we've seen back. Did it come out? Oh, I think it actually came out for a winter semi-annual sale last year. Was it really just last year it came out? But it came out in completely different packaging than what I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing that original, and I'll put it on the screen now. It's like very simple fonts and an actual like realistic fig from years ago. But I guess it did end up coming back out last year for the winter semi-annual sale. We also had that Everyday Luxury, and I think it's Guilty as Fig. So we have seen some fig fragrances, but again, like the oud, like the amber suede, I do feel like fig is definitely kind of a fall fragrance. So I'm excited to see this one added to that Scent Lab lineup for the fall months. Now, switching gears to the Aromatherapy, some of these we've seen before, some of these we've kind of seen variations of, and some of these I think would honestly be new. I feel like the Aromatherapy collection is always evolving. We do seem to have kind of our staple fragrances, whether it's the eucalyptus and spearmint or the lavender or vanilla, but I also feel like they do a pretty good job of having some seasonal fragrances coming in as well. Now, the first one is rumored to be just Aromatherapy Sandalwood. Now, we have had various variations of sandalwood in the Aromatherapy. I think we've had jasmine and sandalwood, sandalwood and vanilla, rose and sandalwood, like just various different variations of sandalwood. This seems to be just sandalwood, not mixed with anything else. I think this could be great if you don't want something super minty or floral, and that's what the Aromatherapy line typically is. So excited to see if this one really is just sandalwood or if it's sandalwood mixed with another fragrance. The next one we have would be one that we have seen before that was kind of replaced, and it's going to be a variation of the Aromatherapy Sleep fragrance. This is going to be the Aromatherapy Sleep Black Chamomile. Now, Sleep for a while has been the lavender and vanilla fragrance. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen if we have two Sleeps going at the same time, or if they're just going to kind of rebrand the lavender and vanilla one, or maybe rebrand the Sleep Black Chamomile one. But I know a lot of people, as I want to say this was the original Aromatherapy Sleep fragrance, really enjoy this fragrance. They're not a huge fan of the newer one, and they always prefer this one. I've seen this one priced pretty crazy on things like a Mercari or a Depop as well. So I am excited to see this one back available in stores if it does end up coming back out. Now, the next one we have seen before, and this was actually in like, I think it was a teal packaging, and this is the Aromatherapy Stress Relief Eucalyptus Tea. Now, this is not eucalyptus spearmint, it is eucalyptus tea, so slightly different from the one that is regularly available. I want to say that I didn't like this one as much as the eucalyptus spearmint, and I feel like for me, the eucalyptus spearmint, I really do just like that minty quality of it, so I feel like that's a big selling point. But I feel like the eucalyptus tea tea, especially if you like something like the Aromatherapy black tea that I think might still be available now, but was available largely last year. You really like those tea fragrances, maybe the white ginger and tea fragrance, maybe even something like a white citrus, where it kind of had that white tea note. I do think this one could be an interesting one to check out, or if you were a really big fan of this when it originally came out, definitely exciting to see it being brought back out in stores. Now, the last one we have to talk about is going to be the Aromatherapy Vetiver, and very similar to the Aromatherapy Sandalwood fragrance, we have seen Vetiver mixed a couple of times with other fragrances, specifically vanilla. They used to have, I think it was the Mindful Pause, and this was the Vetiver and vanilla fragrance. And Vetiver, if you're unfamiliar, it's kind of like an earthy, woodsy style fragrance, so not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but definitely if you want to stray away from like the lavenders and the mints or the teas, definitely something a little bit different when we're looking at the Aromatherapy collection as a whole. But again, curious to see if this is just going to be a repackage of that more original Vetiver and vanilla, or it is just going to be a true Vetiver fragrance. But you guys, that really wraps up this round of some more Bath & Body Works Fall 2 spoilers. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on everything you heard. Anything specifically jumping out at you, or is all of this stuff kind of just and you're totally happy with your current collection? Or are you waiting for things in Fall 3 and then eventually holiday? As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.